President Trump now faces his biggest foreign policy crisis since taking office. Our US correspondent Harry Horton joins us now from Washington. Harry, it's wonderful to have you with us as always. Thank you for being up so late. What has been the reaction from outside those who knew it was going to come? So beyond the White House and beyond the Pentagon, what are people saying about this in the US?
Well, the reaction from Congress has been broadly supportive. We're told that around a dozen members of Congress were briefed by the White House before this action took place. They were aware of it. But other than that, I think Congress will be looking to learn from the White House what their legal justification was for this airstrike. But as I say, broadly speaking, most members of Congress broadly supportive. The Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, he said this action was appropriate and just. The Assad regime can no longer count on American inaction. John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who are two kind of foreign policy hawks in the US Senate, they've both put out statements very quickly after the airstrike welcoming it. Democrats on Capitol Hill too, they're welcoming this news. Chuck Schumer, who's the chief Democrat in the Senate, he said that this was a good action, but he did say it's now incumbent on the Trump administration to come forward to Congress with what its plan is towards Syria. So I think that's what we'll see in the coming weeks now from other politicians, is they'll want the White House to come up with a clear strategy towards Syria, because that's one thing we haven't seen so far from the White House.
Harry, Trump has been such a vociferous opponent on the record, on Twitter, against Obama. Anyone who would listen has heard his opinion on intervention in Syria. What swayed it? Are we really to believe that he saw those pictures from the chemical attack on the village and had such an overwhelming sense of repugnance that this is the sole reason for this response?
Well, that's certainly what the White House are saying. They say that President Trump genuinely did have a change of mind when he saw those images from that apparent chemical weapons attack earlier this week. But the White House also being very clear that this is an example of how President Trump is prepared to take decisive action. The words tonight from Rex Tillerson, the US Secretary of State, were that, look, President Assad has crossed a line and President Trump has taken decisive action. And that's clearly a reference to the language that President Obama used back in 2013 when he talked about crossing a red line and then failed to back that up with US military action. So, you know, clearly the White House wanting to show here that Trump is prepared to take decisions. And it shouldn't be lost on people that this is all going on as President Trump is meeting with President Xi Jinping of China down in Florida, and they're going to be discussing North Korea. So Trump can certainly come forward here and say, look, you know, when I make these threats, I'm prepared to follow them up.
Yes, there's so much riding on that meeting. What are expectations, what are hopes about what will be achieved between the two presidents?
Well, certainly top of the agenda for Donald Trump is trade and North Korea. There's been a suggestion that he might use trade with China and this trade deficit that currently exists as some sort of bargaining chip to try and persuade China to do more, to put pressure on North Korea to kind of close down its nuclear program. It's unclear how successful he's going to be in that. Certainly the rhetoric from the White House all week has been talking up this threat from North Korea. Of course, we saw those missile strikes from North Korea earlier this week. But I think the news from the past few hours, these Syrian airstrikes really overshadow everything now. This is going to be the topic that President Trump will be questioned about most tomorrow, and the thoughts about trade really are at the back of everyone's mind down in Florida.
Thanks, Harry. Harry Horton, live from Washington. We really appreciate it.